Giovanni there of Bolivia. He's run at just outside 14 minutes this year. Well, Nelson Mandela, same namesake of one of the men who was the most iconic men to ever grace this planet. Nelson Mandela there of Kenya goes in this 5,000 meter final. Look out for this one, this guy, Yakuni there of Ethiopia. He is the world leader inside 13 minutes at his very, very best. Tyrone Gauzy there as we just go down the line. Van der Meer of South Africa as well. Satoy there, the Japanese national junior record. He set that back in May. So many accolades, so many honours, so many fantastic personal bests, the whole of this field. Rogers Kebet, the world under-18 leader. Haitem Samuel there from Eritrea. He was winning the bronze medal this time last year in Nairobi. Well, so many men, they've lined them up on 2 start lines, inside and the outside. Getabeyu Bele there of Ethiopia. Johnny Livingston, we saw him get his electronic chip checked. We did see Throop there, the second of the American athletes. Peter Maru there of Uganda. He was 5th in the 1500 metres at this championships last year, moving up to the 5,000 metres this time. He ran a 13:07 personal best in Oslo in June. Dean Casey there from Ireland on the outside. He's also dipped inside 14 minutes at his best, just outside 14 minutes this year. 13:58 last year. So here we go, we can see the normal inside starting line, then we can see those red coats. This is what officials do if we do have a large field. And it's very difficult sometimes to gauge your pace. If you're in the outside lanes, we can just see Bile there of Ethiopia. He's taking no chances. One of the smallest athletes in the field, but he puts himself right at the beginning, at the front of this field, and we can certainly say, in stark comparison to the women, this has started considerably faster than their 3,000 metre final did. But just as I am actually saying that, Bile has got himself to the front as the Ethiopian. He's almost put the brakes on. Maybe that was just courtesy of him starting on the outside section of this race. And nobody seems like they want to take the pace on at the moment. You see Yahun there from Ethiopia just working his way around the outside. 2 Ethiopian athletes now shoulder by shoulder. Followed, almost stalked by the 2 Kenyan athletes. They're taking close contention on this 12.5 lap event. Well, Martin, I talked about a good start, and they really have slowed down now, haven't they? Almost pedestrian.
Yes, I've got to say, Gabeyu Bele, I thought it when I first saw him on the start line, that running action, it really is very Kennedy Sebekele, isn't it? Just take a look at it. It's, you've always got to take 2 looks at him, Bele. That sort of familiar forward lean, staring down at the track, the same sort of arm carriage. Look out here for Mahawi Baratu of Eritrea. That's him just running wide now, making quite good ground, just hunting down his teammate. The Eritreans here, who, certainly in terms of reputation, they operate just a little bit in the shadow of their other East African rivals. But the 2 Eritreans here have got certainly very good CVs. They may well contend the Kenyans, who have so many world-class athletes at this distance in the under-20 age group, well, haven't necessarily sent 2 of their best. Remains to be seen. So I would have thought it's more likely than not to be an East African dust-up, but don't discount the Eritreans. You can also see another African there, Neil van der Merwe. Tall man wearing the green vest there with the fluorescent yellow epaulets. He, on paper at least, probably as much as a minute behind one or two of the others in this field. But at some point, somebody's going to kick to the front and say, right, we mean business.
Yeah, so much about strategy, isn't it? Really interesting to see both the Eritrean athletes really close to the front now. Hatem Samuel is the one who got himself to the front. I mentioned him towards the start of the race. He was the bronze medalist last year. He has improved his personal best this year to 13:13. He did that in May. He did looking through the field. Quite a lot of these athletes ran personal bests in May. We are a couple of months advanced from there, of course, now. And it's not about what time you can run sometimes, it's who can get the best championship race put together. Just looking at Archie Noakes there from Australia. He's got himself up there towards the front. Just really, this race is just not really progressing so far. They're just clocking a kilometre or so on the clock, just getting rid of a few laps. And if it comes down to more of a burn up, it will definitely be the men who's got faster 1500 metre speed in their legs. And a lot of the men train really, really hard for this event. And it's so difficult, isn't it, when you're in these kind of Diamond League races. Some of the best athletes can get themselves into these races, or some of the paced races you're not used to, not operating at those sorts of speeds. And we've got a new change of leader now at the front. Just trying to identify who that is.
Tami, the Bahrainian, a man with a East African history to him, and he's sticking in the sort of kick here which might start to stretch the field. And bear in mind, you mentioned the Australian there, Archie Noakes, but he's actually a minute slower than many of the athletes in this field. So he is able to canter around at the front there, largely because one or two of these other men, like Yehoon, you can see there, the Ethiopian, have yet to deliver any sort of meaningful challenge. But now Yehoon is going to the front. He's saying, right, let's make a race of this.
Well, they've just covered 4 laps now, and it almost seen Yehoon. He says, right, okay, enough is enough. He has gone to the front. He's not shifted the pace significantly, and I'm just watching him glance to the side. Mandela from Kenya, and he's looking even further to the side, and this is his teammate, Bile from Ethiopia. This was the man that started proceedings underway. He was the one that got to the front, but that was just a short charge from him. He just got himself into closer contention, didn't ever move past 5th position there. And it is very much like watching a game of chess at the moment. Who's going to make what move? Who's going to counteract it? Is it a serious move, or is it just a move to just get yourself in a position, just in case a kick does come in, just in case someone does make a more significant move? And we're just coming up now to 2 kilometres on the clock. Again, just inside 3 minutes. So we're only operating just slightly inside 15 minutes at the moment. And some of the best men in this field have got personal bests almost 2 minutes faster than this. So what? Some 500 metres, in fact, faster than what we're operating at the moment.
We've seen some fairly odd tactics from the 2 Eritreans at the moment. Bagratu, who stuck himself out for a brief period, almost towards the back of the field, has made a little bit more ground, just at the back of that leading group. Now, bear in mind, he's got a lifetime best of 13:04. Now, I can remember the days when we got very, very excited about the first man to ever break 13 minutes for the 5,000 metres. That was back in the middle of the 80s when we had the likes of David Moorcroft and one or two others. Syed Awita, of course, another athlete who took the world record of that distance. And Mabratu, a teenager here, he himself, well, you can just see him in that group, but he's around about 12th or 13th spot at the moment. He's capable of going very close to 13 minutes, but he did drop himself out. As you can see, there is Samuel. He's the athlete with 14 on his shorts. Mabratu, you can just see him there going through the picture, right at the back of that leading group.
Well, there is some pushing and shoving, and there's a few words being said between certain athletes. A couple of the Ethiopian athletes, they weren't happy with the South African, Van der Berg there. And it is so tough when you're operating at this clipping of heels. Well, Well, somehow we've negotiated halfway through this race already, and really, apart from a few athletes who've just dropped off the back of this pace, we've still got around about 18 athletes who are all within 10 meters of each other as they go down the back stretch and into the sun. The sun's just setting actually this high into that stand on the back straight, and the athletes are now actually benefiting from some covered seating now that's moved onto the back straight, and all of the track indeed is not in the sunshine anymore, so it has gone cooler. Perfect conditions, you would think, for world-class 5,000 meter running, but this is not a world-class time that we're going to see. This is a true run championship race. Mandela from Kenya, whether he wants to be at the front or whether he's found himself at the front, Mandela from Kenya comes to the front with 2,000 meters to go.
Well, Mandela, I think if he does win here, that will guarantee headlines around the world. His name ensures that. Out in front, but he's got plenty of company there. If you look at the Ethiopian, just a stride or two behind Yahoo, but they're all lining up. One or two beginning to fall off the back. The Ugandans looking prominent. You can see the two Ethiopians now. The Eritreans starting to take much closer order. It's almost bound to become a race between the East Africans, but it's not just straightforward Kenya against Ethiopia. The two Ugandans, you can see they're in third and fourth place at the moment. The Eritreans at long last taking much closer order. That is Abtum Samuel wearing 14 on his shorts. You can also see Mabratu there, with only two men behind him in that leading group. One of those is the American.
Just seeing a couple of Japanese athletes, they're still in contention. Yushoka there from Japan, and just looking down my list to try and identify the other Japanese athlete. They're still going well, they're still in this leading pack at the moment. It's Keita Seita, the national record holder for Japan. Well, both of these Japanese athletes are holding on to this, working their way around the outside.
Again, inside the last 1,500 metres, and there are still a dozen men in this race. It's like a 1,500 metre final there with 12 men. You can take your pick.
Well, you can take your pick, and it will come down to who has got the leg speed, who's got speed to burn. And we're just coming around now, 3.5 laps to go, and it just hasn't picked up at all, has it? We've still got a group of around about, well, I'm not counting them, around about 15, I'm going to say. And is this the first time Yanhune there at the front? He's looking to the side. Belay, they did this a couple of laps ago. Belay's always trying to follow him. Yahune's saying, are you there? Are you going there with me? Well, 1,200 metres to go there. And Casey from Ireland just coming through. 3 laps to go. And it is who has got that speed in their legs over that last 1,500 metres. It is going to come down to the kickers. And we can see now, going down the back straight, we have got 5 men who seem to have broke away from the rest of the field. I'm just watching there as Mataruta there from Eritrea. I think he's trying to get back on the back of there. He is indeed, as is Samuel. They've actually managed to do that. Well, you think those athletes at the front, they had got that gap. You would think that they would try to have put the foot down, guarantee there was 5 of them clear. But 4 more athletes have managed to tag on the back, so we are still got 9 athletes coming down with 2 laps to go in this men's 5,000 metres World Athletics Championship final. And it is the 2 Ethiopians at the moment who are side by side, saying that the pace has slowed again. It's certainly not sped up. It's definitely 9 men who are still in this race, this championship race with 700 metres to go. Yahune there, Belay does look like he's working the harder of the 2.
We we just noticed there one or two little hand signals between the two Eritreans. Mabratu just looking there and actually getting a little push from behind there from his teammate Samuel. And now goes Mabratu. Having been given the push by Samuel, Mabratu has kicked for the front and he's taken two of the Ethiopians with him.
Well, Mabratu was the athlete who finished 5th here last year. He was 4th in the shorter distance, the 3,000 metres. It was a vital push to the front from Mabratu, but it is Hayanu there of Ethiopia. Beelu trying to go with him, his Ethiopian teammate. And it is Hayandu there, digging in deep with 300 metres to go. Hayandu there it is. Beelu there, putting in all the work he can. The Ethiopian on the back straight. Mabratu there, also of Eritrea, with 200 metres to go there. Yakanu there of Ethiopia, follow Mabratu there of Eritrea. They're just passing some athletes now. Bile, he looked gone to me a couple of laps ago. He's working hard. Yahune then it is, digging in deep, 50 metres to go for the Ethiopian. Mabratu it is who's finishing really, really strong. His fellow Eritrean follows him home for the bronze medal. Beelu it was of Ethiopia in 4th position. Well, it was a win for Ethiopia. Eritrea picking up a couple of medals. It was a silver and a bronze for them. And Beelu finished 4th position. Well, Martin, I'm still trying to draw my breath. That race really didn't show itself. None of the athletes showed themselves until what? Deep inside that last 400 metres.
Well, there is the champion. He came into this final as the fastest man here. Appeared to be getting threatened by the Eritrean, Mahawi Mabratu. But it was almost as if Mabratu conceded he couldn't possibly get past the Ethiopian up the home straight. He seemed to spend more of his time looking over his shoulder to see if Hamtom Samuel, the man who'd given him the push and told him to get to the front, with about 500 metres to go, that he'd come through for bronze. So it is gold for Ethiopia, but 2 medals for Eritrea. It certainly will be a triumph for them.
This is Mabratu, silver medalist. I think he's just getting told to put his shirt back on. Football type celebration for the 2 athletes from Eritrea. And Ethiopia can add another medal to their medal tally. And Eritrea bagged themselves a silver and a bronze. But that is your champion. Of Ethiopia. He did come here as the world leader. Well, all the races that he's run this year, they'll all have been pacemaked. They wouldn't have been left to chance, to decision making. And not only has he got a fast time in his bank, he's also got a World Championship gold medal. That is Samuel, that is the bronze medalist. And it'll be a special moment for these 2 men when they get to stand on the podium together. That one should be coming up tomorrow morning, looking at the schedule. So such a cagey race, but that was a significant break there by Mabratu of Eritrea. He was almost pushed to the front. Go on, get moving. And by doing so, he's looking round there. He's looking for his teammates. He's also looking where the danger comes. But he was guaranteed that silver medal. A fast finish from him. Hayunu there of Ethiopia, digging all the way to the line. He had time to just put his arm up into the air. And I'm just looking there at Kabathi there, the Kenyan. He was giving it everything. He was chasing, he was closing down in the home straight, but his legs just went from under him. Oh, that's a nasty fall. Don't know whether he's doing the 3,000 metres as well. He'll want to get up from this one. He'll be going checking with the medics, and he tries to get back up, and I think he was just overtaken in the end for 6th position. So hard when your legs go from underneath you. You're trying to get to that line, but you've got nothing left to give, and the legs. where we'll be able to clear that result up. Here are the medalists, Hayunu of Ethiopian, Mebratu of Eritrea, and Samuel of Eritrea, improving his medal from